Early in October, the village's annual report for 2020 was available for public inspection. Citizens were given 2 weeks to review the report, ask questions, and prepare submissions. So what is an annual report, and why is it important for citizens to read it? Hi, my name is Gloria Mertens, and this is That's My Take, an interpretation and education about village council proceedings. Municipalities are required to make an annual report. This must include the audited financial statements, a list of permissive tax exemptions provided by the village council, and for each exemption, the amount of property tax that would have been collected during the previous year had the exemption not been granted. So this would be things like churches and interior health properties. A report on the municipal services and operations for the previous years, such as sewer, water, parks and recreation, roads, administrative services, protection, planning and development. Also, it requires a progress report on the performance of the municipality with respect to its objectives and measures. So such projects that the village said they would do and undertake, and what they actually did do. It requires also a statement of objectives and measures that will be used as a basis for the following year, that is 2021. And that would be something, the projects that are undertaken in the strategic plan priorities. And finally, it requires details of declarations of disqualification made against individual council members during the previous year. So any conflict of interest declared by elected officials. Annual reporting is supposed to promote a greater understanding of municipal responsibilities and priorities, and also provide an opportunity for the council to engage citizens in setting municipal objectives. So what you really want to examine is how involved were citizens, how well were they listened to, and how the council and staff responded to concerns. Council must give notice of the date, time, and place of the open meeting where the report is approved by resolution. For the last 2 years, this meeting has been restricted to a virtual platform and garnered little public participation. This is unfortunate, as should there be something misrepresented or inaccurately recorded, it will remain inaccurate for perpetuity and will be remembered in the annals of history as such. I have read many annual reports and note that it's up to local residents to be able to read between the lines and make submissions to elucidate all facts and clarify the reported information. For instance, in the 2020 annual report, the water treatment plant is again reported as coming under budget by $800,000. But one must dig to find out that this budget, which contained a substantial 15% contingency for any possible overruns, was for a water treatment plant that had a capacity of 120 liters per second. The village only got a water treatment plant with a capacity of 100 liters per second. Would you be happy with hamburger if you paid for T-bone steak? There are other examples of the need to read between the lines of the 2020 report. The fact that Committee of the Whole meetings are no longer scheduled, no longer allow open dialogue between residents, and are only limited to providing direction to staff. The fact that Ashcroft's former Chief Administrative Officer resigned in March after being on staff only 6 months, yet received close to $39,000 of severance pay. The fact that a business intelligence interface program is being used now by the Chief Financial Officer to report financial information to Council, which is 100% digital, and written accounting statements are no longer attached in the minutes. The fact that a small complement of staff, reported as 24, has increased over the years, especially administratively. That there was no mention of the controversies surrounding the lack of access to the Ashcroft Slough and the creation of a community dog park, nor the village's role in these public controversies. 3 features have been removed now for the last 2 years from the Village of Ashcroft annual report. Those are the calendar of community events, the listing of Committee of the Whole delegations, and special presentations and guests to Council. These features were easy to read and a good snapshot of community engagement. Now, only selected items are highlighted, expanded upon, and incorporated into various sections of the report. The 2020 Village of Ashcroft Annual Report is a well-written document, has a clean, professional look, and uses graphics and photos in an attractive manner. However, what not is written is what good investigative journalists need to question and bring to light. At least, that's my take.